As far as reintroducing load to her back, we want to start with something that she can do to let us access lumbar flexion and hip flexion together so we can then build it up. And something that most gyms have that's super easy to start with will be just a back raise machine. And when we're doing this, we're going to let her go all the way down. We're going to have her start in the very bottom, almost like she's relaxing. So just go all the way down, relax. You're okay there?
Yep.
And then all we're going to do is we're going to slowly just try to curl ourselves up. And we're only going to go as high as we feel safe and in control of. So if she does have sharpness on the way up, we're going to get her to stop. She's obviously good. She can go all the way up, but she's just going to go back down. Relax in the bottom. Use her abs to almost curl herself down. And then come back up. And you can squeeze glutes hard at the top. And then curl back down, slow, controlled. You good there? No pain?
Yep.
Beautiful. And then once she's able to do sets of like 20 to 30 body weight, totally fine. We start introducing load here at a slow rate. And then once she gets to, sets of 20 to 30 with a 10-pound dumbbell, she can go to a 20-pound dumbbell. Once she gets stronger and stronger there, she can go up again. And it'll just be a matter of progressing these to the point where she actually can load her back realistic to what you need to do on a deadlift.
Cool.
How's that feel that way?
I feel it a lot on my hamstrings.
Yeah?
I know that's
Good.
normal.
Yeah.
It's
But
very sore.
the big thing that I want people to do rather than just like doing them is just like being
Do them
mindful of going all the way down, like curling in, letting yourself hang, then pulling back up.
Yeah, because it is an exercise you see people just like
Flop
flailing
through.
around.
Yes. And like
They're
I don't
way
say
harder
that's-
when you do them controlled.
I don't want to say the flail is bad, but if we have more intent and we're like more deliberate in accessing flexion,
Yeah.
we can then build more of a psychological safety mechanism around it if we're controlled and going to it.
Yeah.
And like the goal will be to be able to like flop through and flail through and be fine eventually. Just right now that might piss things off.
Yeah.
So next thing we're going to get her to do to build access to lumbar flexion and hip flexion together is a seated good morning with a cable. Stole this one from News Over Toe Guy because the first time I saw it, I was like, this is freaking brilliant. I want to try it. And it does exactly what it looks like because it's going to be letting us get into deep lumbar flexion and hip flexion together, but it's also going to have distraction with it, which is going to help us feel safer while accessing it, which then can help us build back tolerance. So
Nice.
go ahead. She's going to have a wide stance. She's going to curl down, trying to keep control in her abs. She's also going to be thinking about pulling herself down to the front side while she's letting the cable take her forward. Then she's going to flex her adductors, her glutes, and her back to get back up to the top. And when she finishes, she can think about pulling her head back as well, just to get that thoracic extension. And if someone is in a phase where they're in a lot of pain, this feels sketchy, you do not need to go this slow to start. Just go as low as you can while feeling safe, and the goal will be to progress further and further as we go. Once she's able to do, again, sets of like 15, 20 reps relatively easy, she can start to go heavier on these and work on getting stronger and building back to what would actually be realistic for her squat and dead.
One more.
Sweet.
You just leave it hanging.
Yeah. So we're going to go one arm.
Same thing, but one
Same
arm?
thing.
Okay.
Same thing with one arm. And if we want to add a little bit more rotational demand to this, we
So
can go.
you just let it pull.
Yep.
more?
So we can go. Yeah. To add a little more rotational demand, we can go single arm. We're going to let it pull her forward again. So go ahead, hinge down. Let it pull you forward, and you can kind of find a little bit of a twist as long as you feel safe. And then we're going to curl ourselves back up to the top. Come all the way up. I'm just going to do reps again. All the way down. Come back up to the top. And with a single arm variation, it also feels really good. We can even finish with a row.
Okay.
Because the lat, again, is going to be something that will have some degree of stability over the lumbar spine and the pelvis, and we can incorporate that into the movement. How's that feel?
Nice.
Try the other arm?
So like right at the bottom, you almost like letting the lat stretch out.
Yes. Let it lengthen. You're also going to be lengthening the QL as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of the QL, it's like a fun muscle to deal with because it often gets blamed for a lot of low back pain. But when we look at what it actually is, and we look at the studies talking about what leverage the QL has over the lumbar spine, over the pelvis, and over the rib cage, it doesn't have a lot of leverage, and when it contracts, it doesn't do a lot. So what the QL really is like a proprioceptive center, so it's kind of telling us where our back is, and it helps the other muscles fire better.
Okay.
So if the QL is jacked up, it will cause us a lot of issue. But getting it unjacked is less about getting it stronger and more about getting it to work better with stuff around it.
Okay.
So this will be something really good for that because it's getting us to lengthen it, rotate, and come through. And it's going to be using the lats and the erectors to do a lot of the work.
Okay, sounds good.